So thank you so much for being a part of this WYN conferences as a speaker. So before you start this session, so we will play a video, introductory video of yours. So once it is completed, you can start your session.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Take a privilege to introduce Dr. Onika L. Shirley. Dr. Onika L. Shirley is the founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Inc. She is a procrastination strategist and behavior change expert and known for building unshakable confidence, stopping procrastination, and getting your dreams out of your head into your life. She is a master storyteller, international speaker, serves in global ministry. International best-selling author, international award recipient, serial entrepreneur, and global philanthropist impacting lives in the USA, Africa, India, and Pakistan. Dr. Onika is a motivational speaker and Christian counselor. Dr. Onika is the founder and director of Action Speaks Volume Orphanage Home and Sewing School in Telangana State, India. Founder and director of Action Speaks Volume Sewing School in Carnival and Shankot, Pakistan. She founded, operated, and visited an orphanage home in Thoni, India for 4 years, and she supported widows in Thoni, India. Dr. Onika has shared the stage with the legendary Les Brown while also co-authoring two books titled You Are Enough and Unleash Your Undeniable Impact with Dr. Cheryl Woods and Les Brown. She has been featured on billboards in Atlanta, GA, featured on the cover of Ordinary People magazine, had her own column in Ordinary People magazine titled Walking Daily by the Power of God. She was featured in today's Purpose Woman magazine, wrote several articles for Success Profiles magazine. Her voice was featured on the Huffington Post, have her own blog on the blogging platform of the HuffPost, featured on the cover and in Women's Frontline magazine, and contributor writer for Women's Voice magazine blog. This is the introduction of Dr. Onika L. Shirley. Thank you.
Yes, welcome to WYN conferences. So Dr. Monica, you can occupy the stage. It's your
Awesome.
time.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. It is such a pleasure to be here. I have been here all day, super excited. I've heard some amazing speakers, some powerhouses. Women, you must know that you are powerful. We are powerful. Again, my name is Dr. Onika Shirley. I am the founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated, where I help women to build unshakable confidence, stop procrastinating, and to get their dreams out of their head into their life. And when I think about building unshakable confidence, I think about, building the person from the inside, the person that you were born to be, the person you was purposed to be, and the person that you were created to be by God. And I want to share just a little bit about me. I've been in manufacturing for 15 and a half years, and you know that we hear often that manufacturing is a man's world. But how many of you ladies know that a man is not nothing without a woman? I thought you would find that a little funny, but it is a lot of truth that men, they need us. And so when you think about, being in manufacturing and working your way up through the ranks, of course it wasn't easy, but yes, it was possible. And so for me, I have operated as production operations manager in a location where a female, and especially a female or a woman of color, had operated in such a position in the place in which I live. So, but the power in operating in that position was I made up my mind that I was going to be in a position that was not even open. I made up in my mind that I was going to do something that had not been done. So I wrote about the position as production operations manager for over 2 years while I was working on my master's degree in business administration. I also wrote about it at the end of my evaluations when I was always asked, what other position would you like to be in while you are a part of the company? I envision myself in the position, and needless to say, the time, the month, and the year that I said I would be in the position, remember that I said it was not open. I was in that position. But there is power in the way that we think. There is power in the way we think. And so today, I want to talk about empowering more women to have a desire to be at the table. And I said the table, quote unquote, because we know that the table can be any table that you want it to be. The table can be any table that you desire it to be. Now, we know that the table can be in a boardroom. The table can be the C suite. The table can be a part of senior management. The table can be you being the boss chick or the boss of a business. You choose the table in which you desire. I think it's important for us to talk about the table because I've heard a lot of individuals say they want to be a part of the table, but I've also heard the fear that many women have expressed about actually being able to sit at the table. Why? Because of what they have been told, because of what they have seen, because of what they have heard, because somebody that is speaking into their life is telling them that it is not possible. Somebody is saying that it will not work. Somebody will say that you cannot do it. But I'm gonna tell you, there were some individuals in my life. They say I like Onika because I wasn't Dr. Onika at that time, but I like Onika, but they are not going to give her that job. And my response was, they're not. But see, my daddy was. See, they didn't know who I served. They didn't know that he had gave me something when I started there. And so when we think about having a desire to be at the table, we have to have people that will speak into our life. And when we don't have physical people, when we don't have a support system, we have to stop saying we don't have nobody because we do have somebody, because he said that I would never leave you and that I would never forsake you. And I believe that his word is active. My daddy, he told me, he said that, that things were going to happen for me in that environment. Doors were going to open for me in that environment. So I want to encourage my sisters on today. I want to empower you on today. Don't shrink down because it haven't been done before. Do not feel like it's not possible because it hasn't been done before. There's always a first. And let the first be with you. So I want to share with you a little bit, that we are gaining a little ground. We're gaining a little ground in the boardroom. In 2022, 29% of corporate board seats in North America and European companies are being held by women. That's up from 24%. So we've moved up about 5% over 2 years. That's good, but it's not good enough. That is good, but it's not good enough. Why is it not good enough? Because we know that women make the world go round. We know that women is a force to be reckoned with. We know that women will be intentional, they will be just, they will bring peace, they have an innovative and creative mind. Women, we can make some stuff happen. So I want to ask you, do you want to be at the table? Have you allowed somebody to talk you out of sitting at the table because you're not smart enough, you're not bright enough, you're not tall enough, you're not you don't have this, you don't have that, or is it just because of your gender? It's time out for us only being seen and not being heard, because we have a lot to offer. And I find that women, we get things done. We get things done. We know that a company's board has significant influence over the company's business operations, over their policies, and over overseeing assets, as well as hiring and directing executive employees. We know that the presence of a woman on the board and their diverse opinions, it will bring in support to corporate. It brings up their credit ratings. And overall, if you do any research, companies that have women on their board, they tend to just perform a little bit better. Because if we be honest, we know that some of our male counterparts, they slackish in their work. If you work with any of them, there are things that they do and they do well. But there are things that they do not follow up on. There are things that they do not have, they don't have a sense of urgency on. And it takes the pushing, and it takes the consistency, it takes the commitment of a sister. Yes, that's you. That is me. It is time for us to be at the table. Consistency is the key. We cannot go hard at the beginning and allow ourselves to fall short in the middle and at the end. It's like racing. You don't give all you have at the beginning of the race, but you have to pace yourself so that you will be able to be steady along the way, and you bring your power at the very end, when everybody is tired out, when everybody is overwhelmed, when everybody feel like giving up. You bring your A game. You bring your A game where you say, I saved my best for the last. Now, many women have expressed that they want to be there. So my question is, why are you not at the table? Why are you not in the boardroom? Why are you not in the C suite? Why are you not a part of senior management? Why haven't you started your business? It's fear. Sometimes it's the fear of failure, but I gotta tell you that the fear of failure has a sister or a brother, and sometimes it's the fear of success. Sometimes we feel like if we do better than some of our people, that we're a problem. If we surpass some of our family members, some of us are fearful of success, and that's the reason why we're not sitting at the table. Sometimes we're afraid of people critiquing us, but let me tell you something. You don't have anybody that's qualified to critique you from being at the table. So if there's a table that you have desired to be at, get your chair, pull your seat up, and say that it is time for you to take your rightful place. It is time for you to position yourself. It is time for you to get your dreams out of your head into your life. It is time for you to get your vision off of your board and into your life. Don't keep just thinking about it. Don't think that it is not possible, because it is possible. You have to say that I am going to be resilient. I'm going to be adamant about seeing the impact that I can make, the imprint that I can leave, and the change that I could be a part of. You have to be adamant about that. And you have to say that not being is not an option. It is not an option. You have to build the much needed confidence that is necessary in order to be able to do this. Now, confidence confidence is progressive, is possible, it is growth. But you know what I look at confidence as being? Confidence is not being good at something that you haven't done. But confidence to me is having the courage to keep trying, to keep going, to keep doing it. And this is what I tell Dr. O. I am not going to quit until I get to where I said I was going. So quitting is not an option. So I want you to point to yourself and say that I am enough. I am enough, and that it is possible for me to be at any table that I desire to be at. It is possible for me to be at any table that I desire to be at. And this is going to, you have to be active and stop being passive. Stop feeling like you don't have a voice and that you have all that advice for other people and telling them that it's possible and they can do it. I want you to be, I want you to be your best friend. And I want you to give yourself your best advice that you gave your best friend in her lowest moment to tell her, girl, you can do it. I see how you rock. I see how you shine. I see how you persevere. I see your aspirations. I know you can do it. Tell that to yourself that you are enough. I co authored a book with Brian Tracy and 12 other celebrities and 32 other authors. The name of the book is The Principles of David and Goliath. We're taking down some giants to sit at the table. It is all about beliefs, mindsets, and beliefs. Mindsets and belief. So, women, what is it that you believe about your abilities, your skills, your talents? What is it that you believe about your capabilities that is preventing you from rolling up at the table, taking your rightful place, putting yourself in a position where you can impact, influence, and have a big say in the decisions that are being made? We are underrepresented in corporate America. We are underrepresented at the table. And as women, we must start to believe that it's not about the room. It's not about the room. It is not about the table, nor should it be about whatever we went through in our past. It shouldn't be about our past experiences. It shouldn't be about our past hurts. It should not be about our past pains, but it should be determined based on a decision that I believe I can. 99 people can say that you can do a thing, and one person can say that you can't. 99 being others, and one can be you. They can believe in you. But if you don't believe in you, guess what? It will not happen. But let me tell you something. 99 people can say that you cannot do a thing. And one, one person can say that I can and I will. And that one person is you. If you believe that you can and you take the necessary steps to make it happen, those 99 people just have an opinion. 99 people have an opinion. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. You have to believe that there was a plan, there was a plan, there was a plan, and there was a plan for you. There was a purpose for you. So when I became their production manager, you know, for a lot of people, they thought it was impossible. Being in manufacturing again for 15 and a half years, have held several positions within that company. And the company shut down locally in September of 2018. Our last production day was September the 14th, 2018. But guess what? Guess what? I am still employed by the same company that shut its doors in 2018. Next month will be 4 years later. It was something that I learned. I learned how to position myself. I learned how to be at the table. And I'm still employed today. I worked today. Multi-million dollar company that shut its doors. And I was one of two people that still remains. That's a blessing. But I positioned myself. So we have to position ourselves by learning how to do things that we are not necessarily responsible for. So when they need somebody, they don't have to prepare anybody. You would already be ready for the job. Women, it is time for you to empower, get empowered, and be at the table. Now, I have a few questions for you. What's your challenge? What are your fears? What is hindering you and who is holding you back from your seat at the table? Who has told you that it's not possible? Whose voice are you listening to? You know, I always said that people have an opinion, but it don't matter. Don't allow the opinion of other people to stop you. I used to say when I was a little kid, it don't make me, it don't break me, and it's not going to stop me. You have to have that mindset that believes that you can. You know, when we were smaller, we said, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. We got to stop thinking we can and start knowing we can and start doing what is necessary to do what need to be done. So I want to share 5 practical things that would empower you to desire to be at the table. So number one, I want you to create awareness. Create awareness. This is the perfect opportunity to share information and to advocate for change. Advocate that you are needed at the table. Advocate the impact that you will make if you were sitting at the table and what you have to offer to those that are sitting around the table. Number two, support another woman that's already at the table. You know, there's this big thing that said that women can't work together. I have heard amazing women speak today. I have been poured into where I am just full. I'm full. We can work together, support another sister, and every opportunity you get, serve her. Serve her. You can learn by serving. You can learn by serving and being mentored too. See, mentors need a mentor. Coaches need a coach. We have to be a lifelong student. You know, there's a cliche that say that sometimes we're too smart for our own good. We don't need to know everything, but we need to be willing to learn something new every day. We're in an ever-changing world that is rapidly changing on a daily basis, so we do not know all things. I only know one man that is omnipresent, omnipotent, knows everything everywhere at the same time. You know, I'm not him, and neither are you. And we don't have to be because he is who he is and we are who we are. But we have a helper. Number three, you can be a mentor. Mentoring is an excellent way to empower women. If you know something that they don't, be a mentor. Be a mentor. I heard someone say, you know, there's certain works that we do that is philanthropy, and there is certain works that we do for pay. You know, we're coaches, we're consultants, we're mentors, but there are things that we can do that can prep us to be at the table. Number four, encourage other women that they can do anything. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Encourage leadership skills by giving them opportunities, public speaking opportunity. This is an opportunity right here on the WYN conference. This is an opportunity. Participate in teamwork and decision making. Give them space to express their feelings, such as criticism or disapproval, and then let them know, girl, you got this. You got it. And then number 5, speak up. Speak up in your daily life. You can make the most impact by demonstrating what empowerment looks like for the people that are around you, the other women around you, the youth that are around you. And you can do this by simply modeling confident behavior that you are happy with who you are, that you have your mask off, that you are not worried about or even concerned about the criticism. I told you there are people that are criticizing you that are not even qualified to critique you. Don't worry about it. Keep it moving. So it's time for us to break the ceiling and think about what it is that you really want to do. And so I want to share a few ways for you to power up. Arrive early to every meeting and claim your space. Don't let them pick what seats you sit in. You go early and you sit where you want to sit. Number 2, avoid sitting in groups and spread out. You want to be intentional and you want to do this strategically because you do not want to be in a cluster where it feel like it's one voice. You want to be individual. Now, there's a time for group settings and there's a time to be on one accord. But sometimes you have to speak and you have to speak loud so that you will be heard and you will not be drowned by anybody else's opinion. But you want to be intentional and you want to be strategic and you want to avoid acting out outwardly. Because women, we can make some faces and we can feel all emotional and all these different sorts of types of things. But you want to avoid acting out outwardly and be able to handle how people are responding to you, how people are handling you. You have to develop a tougher skin. You do. You really do. You want to use power and get things done. And you also want to believe that what you have matters. And I want to share an acronym with you out of my book, that you are unstoppable. This is another book that I have, that my gifts reveal my purpose, unwrapping the gifts God gave you. And it says, be unstoppable. So, in my closing, you uncover your purpose and stop hiding, and nurture your God gifted purpose. S, specialize in your purpose. T, track your impact. O, operate in purpose and on purpose. P, perfect your calling and continue to improve. P, prioritize God's will and God's way. A, authorize God to use you because He's not going to force you. B, believe you are unstoppable and keep it moving. L, listen to the voice of God. And E, eliminate all excuses. Women, I pray that you are empowered to go after your dream of sitting at the table. Whether your seat is in the boardroom, whether your seat is to be in C-suite, whether your seat is to be a part of senior management, or whether your seat is to start your own business where you are impactful and leaving an imprint literally around the world. Do not allow anybody, do not, nobody, don't allow anybody to tell you what you can and cannot do. I hope that you are empowered to go after your dreams. And I hope that you recognize, after hearing all of these amazing speakers, that you would not just take notes, but you will make notes of your very next step. What is the very next thing that you need to do to make some things happen, to make some things happen. So I want to give you a free gift. I have a time blocking kit that I would like to share with you. You can text the word time block or TB to 870-568-8525. TB or time blocking to 870-568-8525. I would also like for you, if you're interested in following me, you can follow me on Facebook as Onika Shirley, just Onika Shirley, first and last name, Onika Shirley on Facebook. That's kind of my baby. Facebook is my baby. But if you want to know about the book, more about the book, The Principles of David and Goliath, where it's all about beliefs and mindsets. And I'm telling you, it is amazing. We're coming out with volume 2 next week. But this particular book is about mindsets and beliefs. Believe that you can be it and do it. And if you change the way you think, when you change the way you think, it'll change the way you show up. And when you change the way you show up, you will change what you do. You are empowered to go, be, and have whatever it is that you want. Thank you.
Dr. Onika, such a terrific and powerful one presentation by you. Thank you so much. So if you want to contact Onika, you can follow her Facebook page. So it is like her baby. Facebook is like her baby. So follow her Onika Shirley on FB and type 870-568-8525. Is that for time blog event? Is that right, Onika, Dr. Onika?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so yes, you can. So, thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. So, we have a question from our audience. So, how can we empower? So yes. So, how should women empower themselves?
Women can empower themselves by first just simply the act of believing, the act of believing that it is possible. And sometimes we can empower ourselves by eliminating the negative noise. We have to surround ourselves by individuals that believe in us. They may not know how we're going to do what we said, but they're not going to contribute any negativity to tell us that it's not possible.
Yes, that's true. Thank you so much. So here, so our speaker, the next speaker will be the last speaker for this day, for the first day event. So thank you so much for all the wonderful, beautiful ladies with your amazing stories, amazing presentation. Thank you so much for making this day one win conferences more beautiful with your presentations. So and more successful. Thank you and have a great day, Dr. Ronika.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Bye bye.